All right, good morning to everybody. Now I have confirmation that I am live. I can hear myself, good. This time around there's no echo. I figured it out. Such a relief. All right, so we're gonna be starting soon. I have a lot of friends joining me today. And I know that everybody wants to start with a stretching and then with a meditation. So I am not going to wait around. Awesome. Okay, so as you know, as you can see, I'm in Japan. I wish. All right, so welcome, namaste. Welcome to morning stretching and meditation. So today's format is a 30-minute class, and the idea is to help all of us stretch and find a little bit more mobility, a little bit more ease in our morning and our daily activities as we are confined, many of us at home with this quarantine situation, then our bodies just feel like they're not moving enough. Okay, so we are gonna start on the floor. So not everybody has a yoga mat, which is totally fine. But what I do recommend is that if you do have sensitive knees, then please grab something. It could be a blanket, it could be a towel. In fact, we are gonna be using this later for meditation to elevate our hips. But also we're gonna actually start right off the bat with a prop, whether it's a blanket, a towel, or a something like a cushion that can help you soften, and then it's going to help us open up the back. So one of the first stretches we're going to do is just open the chest, open the heart, and what we're going to grab is whatever you have. Here I'm using this blanket, and I'm just going to roll it up. If it's just a pillow, something that you can kind of place behind your back, behind your shoulder blades, right? And we're just gonna lie on top, and you'll see whether you need to like move around a little bit to open up. But the idea is that we are able to open up the chest, open up the heart, and start relaxing, letting gravity do its job, all right? So we're gonna close our eyes, and we're gonna bring our hands over our chest or our belly, or one hand up here, the other down there. Close our eyes, and we're gonna start breathing. In yoga, we call it the three-part breath. The idea is to utilize our lung capacity to its maximum potential. Often we just breathe very shallowly. So join me here in a deep breath. Slow inhale, allowing the chest, then the rib cage, and then the belly to inflate. And then in reverse, the belly, the rib cage, the chest, the shoulders relax. Once again, open the chest, allow the breath, inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Keep going at your own pace. Open up your arms if this feels a little bit better. Widen your legs as well. Feel like you're like a starfish on the sea. As we continue to breathe and wake up our chest cavity, also slowly getting more used to this position where the back is arched, where generally just folding forward, and our backs need to stretch in this opposite direction too. The neck is long. One more breath here. And exhale completely. Start to roll over onto your side and push yourself up. We're going to move away whatever you were using, whatever prop you're using, just put it aside for now. And come to a cross-legged position. We're going to fold forward, okay? So this could be a little intense for many of us because our hips can be a little bit tight. So let's just find that stretch that is just right for us this morning. All right, so as we fold forward, we can use the prop and just kind of hang out here, placing our forehead on our hands, our forearms on the prop. If you are already there, then maybe you can let go of the prop and just fold forward. And as you stay in that position, try to send the air towards the sides and the back of the body. Yeah, try to really expand the chest cavity. It's when we're folding forward and we realize that we can't breathe forward that we notice that we can actually breathe sideways and backwards. And whatever exercise you do, whether it's yoga or other, this is a really useful breathing strategy because we can't always breathe in the same direction, and it's actually healthier to breathe towards the sides and towards the back as well. All right, so we're gonna push ourselves up and change the crossing of the legs. We're gonna fold forward once again. Slowly, we continue breathing with this three-part breath strategy. As you stay in that forward fold, once again, allow gravity to pull you down, as well as breathing into the side and to the back. Try to see if you can push your breathing a little bit deeper. Normally we breathe within 30 to 50% of our capacity. Can you push it to 70, 80, 90? I don't recommend you push yourself to 100. That can be very uncomfortable. But try to expand a little bit your range of breathing. Also, when we breathe that deep, we stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, and this helps us to relax and recover so much more. It's the contrary to the fight or flight. It's the relaxing part of the nervous system, and that can be activated when we breathe deeply, and as the lungs expand, it compresses, it touches, it massages the vagus nerve. All right. Enough of anatomy for now. Push yourselves up. Okay. And we're gonna bring the legs forward. All right. We're going to start doing some hip mobility exercises. All right. So we're gonna let the knees fall towards one side. Try to keep your chest open. Try to really elevate the neck, elevate the spine, and have the twist coming really from the hip joints. We're gonna breathe, maybe close our eyes. Once that starts getting a little bit more comfortable, then we bring our knees up and let them fold, let them fall towards the other side. You can see that maybe one side is tighter than the other. That's totally fine. We are asymmetric. We're not exactly the same on both sides. So if your knees are sensitive, please adjust. Maybe not everybody should go so deep. And now let's just bring some movement back and forth. This is a windshield wiper in yoga, but actually on a more sitting up position. This is the kind of stuff that if you follow Brad Terrell, from Instagram, he loves this kind of stuff because we often don't move our hips, our knee joints, everything in this kind of manner. And he's a true believer that wider hips lead to healthier spine, healthier mobility and range of motion. Okay, all right. One more hip opening. In this case, we're gonna go into this butterfly Baddha Konasana kind of thing from yoga. So we're going to bring our feet together, kind of diamond shape like this, right? And we're going to start folding forward, bringing our hands forward, walking them forward a little bit more, up to, when you reach your 80%, 90%, this is not supposed to be painful. And then when you can't go forward anymore, then release the neck. Continue to breathe towards the sides of the body, towards the lumbar spine. You continue like this. This is great to really open up the hips. Any forward fold is also a relaxing pose. I know maybe not all of you practice yoga at all or regularly, but these are kind of stretches that are done just beyond yoga, basically. Stretches that can be applied to any exercise. All right. So as you can see today, we're doing a lot of hip stretching, but I also want to stretch the hip flexor and the psoas muscle because a lot of us have back problems, and this is magical. Seriously, like if you have lower back pain, stretch your psoas. For me, at first when I was doing physical therapy, it made no sense. All right, so from here, from Baddha Konasana, we're gonna bring the right knee towards the side. I'm on a mat, but you could be on your carpet. And then we're gonna bring the left leg backwards, okay? So this in yoga we call pigeon. And we're gonna do a proud pigeon today. We're not going down. And basically what we're trying to do here is bring both sits bones, both hips closer to the floor. This can be very intense for many of us. It is intense for me too. I do practice it almost daily, so it's not so bad. But the idea is that if you need some support to really relax the hips because this is so intense on the hamstring, you can place something underneath your hip. In this case, your right hip with a bent leg. And that's gonna help you stabilize the pose and the hips a little bit more. So as we start to get a little bit more comfortable, let's start to breathe in into our bellies again. See if we can lower the hips a little closer to the floor, really feeling the stretch on this side of the leg, the hip flexor side. Close your eyes and really open up the chest, lengthen the neck, belly to spine to protect the lower back. See if you can make it the proud pigeon. If you can open up the heart a little bit more, lowering your hips a little closer to the floor. One more breath here. And we're going to start to come out of it. If you are into yoga, we're going to go into Janushirshasana, but basically this is, as we came from pigeon, we just switch around towards the back, all right? So the back leg doesn't move, it's just our chest that moves around. And we're bringing the sole of the foot, of the right foot, to the inside of the thigh. All right, so kind of making like a 90-degree here. We're gonna flex the left foot, okay? And then we're gonna shift our chest towards that leg, toes looking towards us, all right? And from here, we grab on to behind the knee, whatever, but instead of pulling, just let your hands kind of rest there. Using your upper body and your core to fold forward. Wherever you are, you don't have to fold very much, but the idea is that we start getting a deeper hamstring stretch here, all right? At the beginning, try to have a long neck. Once you reach your 80%, then relax the neck. Staying here for 3 breaths. Breathe towards the back, breathe towards the sides of the body. One more breath here. And release. We're gonna go on to pigeon on this side now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bend the left leg, the leg that was straight right now. We're gonna start bending it and bring the right leg backwards, yeah? So from here, finding that pigeon again, squaring our hips to the floor. The front leg doesn't have to be in 90 degrees, so you can just adapt. But basically what we want to feel is the stretch on the left hamstring and the stretch on the right side hip flexor and psoas muscle. So once again, I like to tent my fingers so that I can push myself up a little bit higher, opening up that chest, opening up the psoas, stretching the psoas, opening up the hip flexor. making this proud pigeon. Neck is long, belly to spine, lowering the hips. Let's breathe here for 3 cycles of breath. Yeah, just think about how we're always sitting, especially these days of confinement. Think of the shape of your body. It's the opposite of this. We're always slouching forward, rounding our backs, and we never really get to stretch our hip flexor. And as you know, any muscle that isn't used, that isn't stretched, becomes shorter and shorter with time. One more breath here. So as muscles become tighter and shorter, then we start rounding our backs, and then it's almost impossible to not have back issues. All right. So these are the stretches for today. Yeah, we've stretched the back, we stretched the hips. Now we stretched the front of the body. All right, we stretched also, we opened up with the initial stretch with the prop, and now we're going into meditation. Okay, so I highly suggest you grab something. It could be anything, just to help you elevate your hips a little bit. So as we enter into more of a meditative mode, come into cross-legged position, close your eyes, bring your hands over your knees or your thighs. It's important to find a long back and a straight neck. For reasons that are unknown to most of us, when we have a long spine, we can concentrate, we can focus better. There is some sort of energetic thing to that. So, as our spines become longer, closing our eyes, starting to slow our breath, although we're not controlling the breath. We let the belly relax as we inhale, and reverse belly to spine for a moment, just to notice where the body is. And from now on, no more controlling of the breath is needed. In this mindfulness meditation, we're going to stay quiet. I'm going to cue a little bit, be quiet for the most part. And if you've practiced mindfulness meditation before, you know that the focus of our attention is in the breath. Because as we focus on the breath, it helps us to not be distracted with a monkey mind, with all the mind chatter and the ideas, the to-do lists, the thoughts, the memories. So it's important to fix an attention, otherwise we go into distraction very easily. Start noticing the sensation of the air in your nostril as the air goes in. Lengthen the spine if you've started to get a little too relaxed. Start to do a body scan. Sensation on your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms. Sensation of your chest, your belly, your spine, your hips. And then your legs. Your whole body is here with you, meditating, helping you to quiet the mind, helping you to focus and prepare you for a better day. Come back to the breath. Go back to the here and now if your mind has wandered. If you notice that your mind has gone somewhere else, without judgment or attachment, come back to the breath. That's the practice of meditation, coming back from distraction to attention and to focus. If you start to get bored, just observe that. And come back to the breath. If you start feeling some back tension, stretch it out and come back to the sitting position and come back to the breath. In yoga, we consider that meditation, which is called dhyana, is one of the steps towards samadhi. And samadhi is that state of union with your higher self. So you don't have to be religious, you don't have to be spiritual. Meditation is just one way to be closer to your highest potential, where you have a clearer mind. And you start building equanimity to confront daily life challenges with more peace and more grace. Coming back to the breath. Slowly start to flutter your eyes open just a little bit, looking towards the floor with a soft gaze. Still in meditation. Notice what happens when you have your eyes slightly open. How different is this experience? Is it easier or is it more distracting? Meditation can be done in so many ways. Everything can be done in a meditative state, in a mindful state. Even talking, eating, some say that even sleeping. So I like to taper off and finish my meditations by opening my eyes and transitioning out from that closed-eyed, very kind of into myself, and then start to open up to the outside world, to the room where I'm in, if there's other meditators around me or not. And this is just a reminder of how we can continue in a meditative state throughout the day. Start to open your eyes a little bit more. And now we're going to do one final stretch by bringing our arms up. Stretch up, bring the hands to prayer. Really stretch up the rib cage, shoulders elevate, and then we're gonna turn towards the right, the left hand over the right knee, the right hand behind the sacrum, lengthen the spine, lengthen the neck, and let's do a gentle twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Other side, hands come up. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bring the right hand over the left knee, the left hand behind the sacrum. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the neck. And twist on the exhale, gentle twist. One final stretch. We're gonna bring our hands behind our back. Clasp the hands if you can. Slowly start to roll open the shoulders. Lengthen the neck. Really open up the chest. Lift your chin towards the sky. Give yourself a throat stretch. Inhale deeply, look up. And relax. All right, friends. Well, this is the end of today's Stretch and Meditate class. I hope this served you well. My name is David Ito once again. I am here with you on Tuesdays and Thursdays. My Instagram is david.yogito. If you have any suggestions as to what you would like regarding stretches in the morning, please shoot me a message. Also, this is a donation-based class, so if you are so inclined, please go into my website, daviditohealing.com, and hit on a donation button. All right, it's pay what you can. I'm very happy to be able to provide this service to the community, to the world, to my friends in Spain, to my friends in New York City. Namaste, have a beautiful day. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you in my next class. Take care. Be safe.